Hi guys, welcome back to Slay Spina Bifida. Here on this channel, we slay in all obstacles that comes our way. Yes, we do. So today, guys, as you can tell by the title, I'm going to be talking about, well, it's not talking about. This is another testimony how I survived being in the nursing home for almost, I'm going to say almost 5 years. Um, yeah, so before we get started, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And also leave a comment if you like. So, right to it. So it was about 2014, 2015 is when I ended up in a nursing home. And that reason is because I had a wound on my foot that um, needed treatment, and the doctors was trying to send me home with an open wound. Um, and they expected me not to walk on this wound. Like I couldn't put no pressure on it. So I'm thinking to myself, well, if you expect me to uh, not put pressure on this wound and I have to go home, it's not going to heal. So his suggestion was to place me in a nursing home until the wound is healed. So I thought about it, and the other reason too is because my mom's house was not handicap accessible. It was not equipped for me to stay there. Now, during the time before I had this wound on my foot, I was walking with my leg braces and crutches. Um, and with assistance, I would walk up and down the stairs. So I'm thinking like, okay, I can't get up the stairs. I'm not able to move around like I usually do when I was walking with my leg braces and crutches. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna have to go to the nursing home. So I called my mother and we talked about it. She was kind of skeptical too. She's like, I don't know about the nursing home. I've heard some stories, and I did too. I've heard stories about nursing homes. So, y'all, I ended up being in the nursing home. And so the first nursing home I was in, it was too far away from my parents. It was very far. So my parents like, oh, well, we're going to have to move you. Now, in that, during the time they was trying to find a place or whatever. But during the time I was, praying to God, I'm like, I'm not gonna let myself go because I'm in a nursing home. I'm not. Baby, let me tell you, my face was beat every day. Mm-hmm. And did. And I also had a job. They had me working at the front desk, So, and I got paid a little bit. So I was like, oh, okay, I like this, getting a little work experience under my belt. You feel me? So I was loving it. And, but I knew I wasn't going to be able to stay there long. And they had some nice staffs. Some of the staffs I still talk to, the ones that was nice to me. But I'm just grateful that I was alert because some of these nurses in the nursing home, I guess they want you to just shut up and listen to them. And if you don't do, if they don't do their job, they expect you not to say nothing. No, this mouth is going to open because closed mouths don't get fed. So I'm very alert, especially when it comes to my body. Okay, so when they're supposed to change the dressing for my wound at you know certain times of the day or certain days, they're supposed to change the wounds and the dressings. And I had some people there that was just lazy. So I took it up on myself and opened my mouth and said, "Hey, when y'all supposed to change my dressing? Wasn't it supposed to be today?" They didn't like that, but I don't care because sometimes you have to advocate for yourself, and I've learned that. I learned how to advocate for myself. I used to work at this place called Access Living, and it's ran by and for people with disabilities. And so they taught me how to advocate for myself. So I want to go let that go. Y'all, please change the wounds. You need to change the dressing, please. And I wasn't getting an attitude about it. They was the ones that was getting an attitude with me. So it was hard living in a nursing home. I'm gonna just say that. Then the second nursing home, because my parents at the time they found something closer to where they live, and so I continued my stay there until the wound healed up. And that nursing home was terrible too. You know, I just feel like, they were there just for the money. They don't care about the residents or anything like that. Um, and then I felt like just because I was alert, they didn't like the fact that I was alert, and they didn't like the fact that I had a cell phone. So every time they did something to me, yeah, I was on the phone calling my mama. Yeah, mama, they did this to me. So I know they had church when I left. I did too, girl. So I mean, what? But I'm just saying, if you say you care about people, act like it. You know, and I'm not trying to be mean about anything. I know my body better than the staff knew my body. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, I mean, from changing, I had a Foley catheter. They would not change that. They're actually supposed to change the Foley catheter every 2 weeks. They didn't do that. So I said, okay, every month then. It was like pulling teeth for them to change the catheter. Because if you don't change the Foley catheter and it's steady in your body, you're gonna get a UTI. And that's what happened to me. Like I'm already prone to infections because I'm not mobile. So, but you're gonna make it worse because you don't want to change my Foley catheter. Come on now. And then I remember one time I was sick. I was so sick. I had a really bad UTI, and the infection spread to my kidney. And at that point, I just didn't. I was upset because the simple fact I told the head nurse. I think they call it the DON. I told this head nurse, um, I'm not feeling well. I think you guys need to change my Foley catheter. Her attitude was, I been in this field for 20 years, and I know what I'm talking about. But I've been in this body for 40, well, at the time I was 38 years. So what are you saying? I know my body, and I think you should change the Foley catheter. And she didn't. And that same night, I got sick, and my fever was very high. So I was rushed to the hospital, of course, And then at this point, I was just like, you know what? I'm not gonna say nothing else. I'm not gonna even communicate with that lady or anything. So I told her straight up after I came from the hospital, um, you got to deal with my parents now. And people don't like, especially when they're working in a nursing home. This is what I've studied and observed. They don't like talking to your family. When you get your family involved and they see that your family coming to see you, they don't like that. See, they try to get the ones that don't know, that they're not cohering, or they're, not able to speak for themselves. And so I guess this is why they got a true attitude towards me, because I was speaking for myself. Because I was catching uh all types of infections. It was back to back, you know, and it was just like, wow, at least you could have listened to me and not show an attitude that you've been in this field for 20 years, but that's how I was. But I just thank God that you know he brought me out of that situation. The only good thing that came out of this nursing home experience is my apartment. And the way God works, I feel like he uses people to send his message to you. And the reason why I said that is because this young man in the same nursing home that I was in, he was a minister and he left before me, and that was like 2017, I believe. And he was like, sis, he was like, pick a day when you want to leave out the nursing home and pray about it. And so I wasn't sure for the date, the actual date, but I was just like, Lord, I want to get out of here before I turn 40. And he did that. He um I just kept asking, and then I proceeded to learn about the program that they have at the nursing home about apartment living, living independently. And so I was like, I had to ask him. I said, you know what, God, I want a the apartment to be not too far from my parents, not too far from my PA, so that way they can get to me. And he did just that. And then I also asked for a 2 bedroom because I knew I was gonna have a lot of things, like my medical supplies delivered to me, and they give you a lot of it. So and when I asked about that, the social worker that I was talking to, she said, those places are limited. And so I was like, what? And I was thinking like, oh God. But as soon as she left, and I love to turn on my gospel music, I would turn my gospel music on and just meditate on God during that time. And so when when I turned the music on, Israel, New Breed, No Limit, No Boundaries, that song came on. And when I tell you, that message came right through the song. No, there's no limit when it comes to God. No limit, no boundaries. And it say, I see increase all around me, stress forth, break forth, um, release me, enlarge my territory. And I took those words and I took it to heart, and I just prayed and prayed. And 2 weeks later, I got approved to the 2 bedroom apartment that I'm in right now. So there's no limit, y'all. I'm telling you, when God says he's going to do something for you, expect it. Pray for it. Leave it at the altar. Don't try to help him because God don't need no help. The Bible says God don't need no magic. He fights by himself. He don't need, all he needs you to do is pray and trust and believe in him. I'm telling you, it works. Prayer works. If you believe, for those who do believe, it works. It really does. So I hope you guys like this testimony that I present to you all. And stay encouraged. Hold on to God's unchanging hand. He will never leave you nor forsaken you. I'm telling you, he will do exactly what he said he will do. He will. And always remember that miracle, they happen every day. I'm going to keep saying it because it's true. All right, so I love y'all. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Comment if you like. And I will see you guys on the next video. Also remember that God loves you even more. Bye. Mwah.